The house loomed, large and imposing. It stood at the end of a gravel driveway shrouded in mist and shadow. Blackwood Manor, it was called.
I inherited it from a distant relative I'd never met.
Alex stepped out of the car, taking a deep breath of the damp air. A shiver ran down their spine. Something felt off.
This house is imposing. Gothic architecture, all dark stone and pointed arches. Ivy crawls up the walls like grasping hands.
The windows, dark and vacant, stared back at Alex. They felt a chill despite the mild weather. This house held secrets. Alex could feel it in their bones.
I can feel it. Something's not right.
Alex pushed open the creaking front door. Dust swirled in the air, dancing in the faint rays of sunlight that pierced through the grime-coated windows. The air hung heavy and still, thick with the smell of decay and something else, something undefinable but unsettling.
Here goes nothing.
Alex took a hesitant step inside, the floorboards groaning under their weight. Each sound echoed in the silence. The interior was as imposing as the exterior. Dark wood paneling lined the walls. Faded portraits stared down with accusing eyes. The furniture, draped in dust covers, seemed to watch Alex's every move.
Everything feels so cold, colder with each room.
They wandered through the rooms, each one colder than the last. A chill followed them, clinging to them like a shroud. The library was the most unsettling room yet. Books lined the walls from floor to ceiling. The air was thick with the smell of mildew and decaying paper.
There must be something here, something that tells the history of this place.
Alex ran their fingers along the spines of the books. As they explored, Alex noticed strange symbols etched into the walls. They were faint, almost invisible under years of grime, but undeniably there.
What do these symbols mean, and who put them here?
The symbols seemed ancient, arcane. Alex traced them with their fingers, a sense of unease growing in their stomach. Nightfall brought new terrors. The shadows in the house deepened, stretching out like grasping claws. Alex wandered the darkened hallways, their footsteps echoing in the silence. They couldn't shake the feeling of being watched.
Every creak, every rustle, it's like the house is alive.
Then the whispers began. Faint at first, barely audible. They seemed to emanate from the walls themselves, weaving through the house like the wind. Alex stopped, holding their breath, trying to make out the words.
What are they saying? I can't understand.
The whispers swirled around them, cold and menacing, but Alex couldn't understand what they were saying. The whispers seemed to grow stronger in the library. Alex returned to the room, drawn by an unseen force. They stood among the shelves, listening as the whispers intensified. The air grew colder and the shadows seemed to dance.
Alex! Alex!
Who's there? Show yourself!
They felt a presence in the room with them. Something unseen but undeniably there. Driven by a mixture of fear and morbid curiosity, Alex decided to explore the attic. They found a rickety wooden ladder in a dark corner of the upstairs hallway. The air grew colder as they climbed, the scent of dust and decay intensifying.
This place, it feels like a graveyard of memories.
The attic was a sprawling space dimly lit by a single dusty window. Cobwebs hung from every beam and the floor was littered with discarded furniture and forgotten toys. Alex stumbled upon a heavy wooden chest tucked away in a dark corner. It was ornately carved, depicting scenes of writhing figures and grotesque creatures. The wood was cold to the touch, and a faint humming seemed to emanate from within.
What could be inside?
They knelt down, their heart pounding in their chest, and slowly lifted the lid. Inside, they found a leather-bound journal. Its pages were brittle with age, the ink faded but still legible. The journal belonged to a previous resident of Blackwood Manor, a man named Elias Blackwood.
The shadows grow stronger, and the whispers torment my waking hours.
His entries detailed a series of horrifying events that had transpired within the house. He wrote of strange symbols, whispers in the dark, and a growing sense of dread. Section 5, The Curse of Blackwood Manor.
Elias's journal entries grew increasingly frantic as the days turned into weeks. He described a darkness that had descended upon the house, a malevolent presence that tormented him and his family. He wrote of a curse placed upon the house by a scorned lover who had taken her own life within its walls. According to Elias, the scorned lover vowed to trap the souls of anyone who dared reside within Blackwood Manor. She would bind them to the house, their spirits forced to wander its halls for eternity. Elias believed he was being haunted by the vengeful spirit, and he feared for his life and the lives of his loved ones.
Alex read the final entry in the journal with a growing sense of dread.
Elias wrote of a desperate plan to break the curse, a ritual he hoped would appease the scorned spirit. But the last sentence of the entry trailed off abruptly, leaving Alex with a chilling question. Had Elias succeeded?
The house feels different now. The air is heavy, charged with a palpable energy that sends shivers down my spine.
The whispers intensified, swirling around Alex like a vortex of despair. Alex could feel the darkness closing in, suffocating them, and they knew they had to escape. They ran to the front door, but it wouldn't budge. It was as if an unseen force held it shut.
Panic surged through my veins. I raced through the house, trying every window and door, but they were all locked or jammed. The house is holding me captive.
Alex's breath came in ragged gasps. They could feel their heart pounding in their chest, their senses overwhelmed by the oppressive atmosphere of the house. The shadows seemed to writhe and contort, taking on menacing shapes that danced at the edge of their vision.
The whispers are growing louder, morphing into chilling screams. The air is frigid, biting at my skin.
They stumbled back, collapsing onto the floor as a wave of dizziness washed over them. The house was toying with them, savoring their terror. Alex scrambled to their feet, their last reserves of strength fueling their desperate need to escape. They charged at the front door again, throwing their weight against it, but it wouldn't budge.
Defeat washes over me as I slide to the floor, my body trembling.
The symbols on the walls seemed to glow with an eerie light, pulsating with a sinister energy. The air crackled with unseen power, and the temperature plummeted, chilling Alex to the bone. They were trapped, ensnared by the same darkness that had claimed the lives of Elias and his family. The shadows descended upon Alex, enveloping them in a cold, suffocating embrace. The whispers were deafening now, a chorus of tormented souls crying out from beyond the veil. Alex closed their eyes, their bodies succumbing to the overwhelming despair that permeated the very essence of Blackwood Manor. The house had won. It had claimed another victim, their soul now bound to its cursed walls for all eternity.
I will join the chorus of whispers, my cries echoing through the empty halls, a chilling testament to the house's dark power.
Blackwood Manor would stand, as it always had, its sinister legacy secured. A lone figure stood at the edge of the property, their silhouette barely visible in the pre-dawn light. They carried a worn leather bag slung over their shoulder and a look of grim determination etched on their face. This was not the first time they had been drawn to a house with a dark secret.
The figure approached the front door of Blackwood Manor, their footsteps silent on the dew-covered grass. They placed a hand on the cold stone surface, their fingers tracing the outline of a familiar symbol. The house is quiet, its whispers momentarily stilled. It is waiting.
A faint smile played on the figure's lips. They had a feeling this house held a darkness that would rival any they had encountered before, and they were eager to meet it.